Sweet. We are on record.
No worries. You'll send me a copy, obviously, will you?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's mainly for you to record this. Yeah, so definitely for you.
Yeah. Cool.
I just know that sometimes when people say stuff, even to me when I'm interviewing, I don't always remember everything. You remember one or two things, but sometimes people, are the gold dust.
Yeah. I had some I did a tarot reading with a guy, and like that's been really good to go back and rewatch. You know what I mean? Because every time I rewatch it, I sort of pick up more about what he was saying, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and especially if people do readings like natal chart readings and all these and us, they're good to rewatch. Yeah.
In fact, I actually wanted to tell you something. I watched your video where you had your birth chart done. What was his name? I can't remember the guy's name, but I know.
Was it Mehmet?
Yeah.
Mehmet. Yeah, he's cool.
So I know of him through Santos and Syncretism Society and stuff like that. And he was talking about your ascendant, and I've learned that Santos teaches that if you're born after 6 p.m. and before 6 a.m. in the evening, he belongs to a descending sign that has more of an influence on your physical looks. And so I know. So I think you were a Cancer rising, and
Capricorn,
so
Capricorn,
that
I
would
think.
make you
Capricorn.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm Capricorn rising. Yeah.
Oh, Capricorn rising. Okay,
yes.
So that would be Cancer descending. Yeah.
Is it? Is that what he says? Cancer descending. What does the descending mean, quickly then?
Well,
Cancer
it's
descending.
just Santos just believes that if you're born after that 6 p.m. deadline, and so you were born in the evening, the influences of the ascendant are more given to the descendant. Do you know what I mean? So,
right.
And so by doing certain research, I've been reading.
Okay, set up again.
They're drilling into the concrete wall, eh?
Yes, redoing the doors. It needs to be done.
Yeah. Oh, that used to be one of my jobs.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, doing some research, reading this book by Thomas H. Burgoyne that Santos recommends, The Light of Egypt, and him describing what a Leo would look like. And so Leo is my descending, and I'm born at 3:40 in the morning. And he describes that all red hair comes from a fire sign. So like either Aries, Sagittarius, or a Leo for red hair. And he goes, and Leos will more likely grow a beard because they're giving praise to the sun, because the sun rules in Leo. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense with me. I'm probably more look like my descending sign than my rising sign. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Oh, it's very interesting.
So yeah, it makes sense with what I've been learning from Santos and everyone else.
So you're saying overall that descending is more important then? You're descending.
Well, if you're born at nighttime, yes.
I am, and you were as well.
Yeah. I'm 3:40 in the morning, and so just one of those little things that's very interesting to learn about astrology, and it's just But yeah, you're on, mate.
Okay, so yes, I got your questions, and I'm here for you for any questions you can ask on anything. But if you want to talk about age, I love whatever, and that's definitely
yeah. Well, do you know of any, like, so obviously my main thing was that I started using it. Well, I started drinking flat out since December.
Nice.
And
aged,
what's that?
Aged urine or fresh?
Yeah. So, and that was before I discovered your video with Santos and the powerfulness of aged urine. But I was starting to collect it anyway, in a way, because I'm living upstairs in this loft, and for me it's like I was drinking it before I came here, but only little bits and pieces, and then I was like, I'll just pee into a bottle and collect it, rather than go downstairs every time I need to get a toilet during the night. You know what I mean? And then I ended up getting to a point where I fill up this 5-litre bottle,
Wow.
and then I'll add some hot water to it, and I'll take it down to the bathroom and I'll wash myself with it. You know what I mean? And
rub it in.
and then I'd tip it all over myself and rub it in, and I'd wait for that to almost dry, and then I'd just have a quick rinse under the water kind of thing. And I found it really good kind of thing. And so, and then when I saw your video with Santos about age, it's like, okay, I need to start getting serious about this sort of stuff. So yeah, so like I've got, I think, I don't know, probably can't see the date. So 20th of February was the first one I started storing.
Over 3 months now, just a bit.
Yeah. So that one's 3 months now, and I got it out before just to have a look at it. It's like it's quite a lot of floaty bits in it.
Yeah, that's okay. By the way.
Yeah,
that's all good.
Yeah. But I heard you saying on another podcast of yours, I think I watched something about 9 months is the magic figure to wait or something.
That's what I relate to Rosin Hanson. I mean, it's dependent on the person if you think about it, Tom, because we all start at different levels of health in our fresh, not even due to our own fault, due to the diets as childhood, but if you go before that, due to what parents, grandparents, ancestors. So I mean, that's just a nice number to make it all floaty. And yes, it can be, but I mean, it could be longer. And if you've been vaccinated, I mean, these are complicated issues. So you'll know though, because it will go dark black and the smell will stop.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. I've heard you talk about that. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. So then
I'm also doing energy devices too in my room. I live in London. I've got to take care, and these things are speeding up my aging process. Plus, I'm always working on my health. I've improved my diet. I'm newly vegan for me, so these are all making my mine age faster. So I do tactical things. I mean, one tactical thing is to don't put it away from the Wi-Fi router. If you know where the Wi-Fi router, I mean, it's silly to do the micros, but if you want it to age faster, we got to think of all these little things.
Yeah. I like your idea of a time capsule in the ground. Like Mother Earth.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good one. I haven't got around to doing procrastination, but that is good. Yeah.
No, but I've heard you mention that before. Yeah. So then I started putting some in a little spray bottle, and I like to try and use glass as much as I can.
Yes, is that glass?
Yeah, I was just spraying that in my hair.
That one? I mean, not judging because I use plastic.
That's glass. Yeah, so it's an old sauce jar.
Yes.
And I had to modify the lid to go onto the spray bottle. I've done whatever I can.
So the only reason I had with glass is I buy them on Amazon. They keep breaking the nozzles. Can you buy the nozzles then?
No, so I had to buy a spray bottle with this on it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to fit, and it kind of didn't work properly. So I ended up cutting the bottom off it, and then I've got the lid off the sauce bottle and managed to drill some holes in it and screw it in. And now it's working really good.
Oh, wow.
I'm a tradesman by hand, cabinet maker by trade. And
keep me informed how long it lasts. Because now I guess it's going to last a long time. I can't see that breaking, but let me know if it does the spray bit at the top. They kind of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, well, I did have it in another spray bottle, and it just sort of, I don't know, it wasn't spraying that good. And I'm like, I want to get a better one.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I just started a routine of spraying my hair in the morning and brushing it and rubbing it in and a little bit on my beard, whatever.
Yeah.
And then after a while, like a friend of mine, he's like, "Did you cut your hair?" And I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
Like, I love my long hair. No, there's no way I'll cut it. And then I started realizing it's like, so I used to be able to reach around and touch it, like, and grab the end of my hair.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow, it's getting shorter. What's going on? And that kind of got me a little bit concerned, but I don't know. I've been thinking that obviously with the journey that I'm on and, getting healthy and things like that, I'm still probably detoxing a lot. And so I'm wondering whether could that just be.
So your hair's got shorter, to confirm.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like bits of my hair have just come out when I've been brushing. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
More than normal since you've done the age.
more than normal. It's really like, but the main thing I notice is that it's gotten like, because I used to have it, like I said, I used to be able to reach around and grab my hair. That's how long it was. And so now it's like, okay, so what's going on? And then the more I've been sort of meditating on it and thinking about it, it's like, I think maybe, because obviously they, whatever's in your body eventually. And so I'm thinking it's just getting to a point where it's shedding all that dead ends, maybe. I don't know. Like, yeah.
Yes, I resonate with that
I
as
figured
well.
the urine therapy would, yeah. And I did start to just eat some cooked food again. Like, so after trying to go, I've been sort of trying to go raw as much as possible. And it's starting to get cold in winter and stuff here now. So I'm just like, I want something warm in my belly.
Yes.
And I was just like, I wonder, is it the cooked food that's doing it? Like, oh, yeah.
So it does warm you up, I feel. It literally does warm you up, cooked food. Maybe due to I'm not judging it, but due to the stimulation, which causes the body to defend itself, and the powers of the body is utilised to warm you up. Maybe.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
That's what I feel on that. But I mean, yes, with the hairs coming out, I've noticed it too. When I'm detoxing,
Okay.
with the root clean slate or the age urine or both, one or the other, I always get more hair coming out. Yeah, like
Okay.
loads. Actually, I've had times when loads and loads has come out, like, and you'd think I'm like undergoing chemo or something, but I'm not.
Yeah,
Just
right.
detoxing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you feel it's just the body's shedding.
Yeah, well, I do know,
Yeah.
and you'd know as well, that the age urine is never, ever, 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 however you get it in, doing you harm or doing anything
No,
negative.
yeah, yeah. I mean, when I came across this information, it's sort of, with everything else I've been learning in the last 2 years or so, it's like, okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Like, they lied to us about everything. Of course, they've lied to us about that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've been able to convert one friend who
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I know he used to drink his own urine as a joke at parties and stuff.
Oh.
And I caught up with him recently, and I said, yeah, I want to talk to you about something. And he's like, I've got to go pee. And I go, that's exactly what I want to talk to you about. And he was like, wow. So he went home where he lives up in Queensland, and yeah, he's been messaging me saying him and his girlfriend are both onto it. And yeah, so yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's how we do it, isn't it? Like, it's
Yeah,
funny,
just
isn't it? Is he drunk as
spread
fresh
it
then? Fresh or the ages and
I
everything?
think so. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's, but I sent him a link to your video with Santos as well, so that they could learn about it. Whether they're storing it or not, I'm not sure, but yeah.
Awesome.
And I'm like,
the book too, because
yeah,
the book's got
sorry.
loads of good reviews, and that's a way to get people into age, because people think it's a joke until they realize people have written books on it. They're like, because that's what got me into it, the Your Own Perfect Medicine book by Martha Christie. That was amazing.
Yeah, I've heard you speak about that. Yeah. Oh, cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, well, you're doing really well, brother, with all the protocols. I mean, does he not smell the hair a little bit when you do it for a few hours? How do you mitigate that one?
So, I mean, this is what I drink out of. Just I found these in a $2 shop, glass bottles, and big enough that I can fit the old fella in there. And yeah, so usually what I'll do is, like, I'll collect the first one in the morning, and then probably there's one sort of, at the moment I'm like waking up at maybe say 3 or 4 in the morning and having a pee, and then first thing in the morning you have another one. So I end up with about 2 of these bottles, and I'll drink them throughout the day. And then I fast till midday. I don't do anything until midday, and then I'll drink my urine first before I have any food or anything. And then sometimes I just get busy doing stuff and I don't drink it. And so I know this one here, this is at least 3 days old. And it's got a little bit of a, what would I say, kind of a fishy whiff to it, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know.
fishy smell,
Yeah, I had a sip with. Yeah, I had a sip before. I'm like, oh, it's a bit fishy. And sometimes when I get it like that, I just like, you know what? I pour it into a bottle and store it, and just go, you know what? It's going to be better when it gets older. You know what I mean? Like,
It will.
Yeah.
And I know that fishy smell well. It triggers other people like you wouldn't believe, innit?
Yeah. Oh, look, it triggered me at first too. It's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
But like, I find because I've been doing it every day now since December 21st, like the first one in the morning, if I drink it fresh, there's no issue with it at all now. Like it's a nice salty brine. It's beautiful,
Yeah.
like
That's a good point,
yeah,
actually. It's got salts in it too, all the urines. Natural
yeah,
salts
yeah,
that are good for us. So,
yeah, yeah. Well, for a long time, like learning through Santos about the 12 tissue salts,
mm,
I was buying a lot of that and taking them. And then with my situation now, I'm kind of like not as financial and I can't. And plus, I'm learning that the capsules that I was taking have a little bit of milk in them. So I'm like, well, don't
do
really
they?
want
Which
any
ones are
animal
those that
products.
have? I mean, because I'm newly vegan too. Which ones have the milk?
It's a brand that's made here in Australia. Um, and they just use salts in a little capsule kind of thing, and you can get all the different. Well, they don't label them as the star signs. You got to do your research and get the actual chemicals or the names for each salt. But yeah, but yeah, I was taking them for a while, and then Santos was saying, like, well, I think you were saying that all the essential salts.
Yes. Yep. It broke up a little bit. Yes, all the central salts I
Yeah,
found.
I'll probably have a poor connection on my end, mate.
Yeah.
That's
So but I do hear what they're saying and resonate too. Where there's 3 of them that are missing, isn't it, of the 12 salts? I'm learning
yes,
this,
yes, yeah,
and then of course, yes, if you're having less of it, obviously the urine won't have more of what you've got producing.
yeah. That's it. Yeah, but then I've heard Santos explain as well that certain salts are associated with different uh, modalities within the body, obviously, because they're all associated with star signs. So, like if you're over emotional, you'll burn through whatever salt relates to your emotions.
Oh wow.
Do you know what I mean? And so,
Mm,
even though you might be deficient of the 3 that you didn't get in the womb,
yeah.
you are burning off another one
That
by
you're using. Yeah.
that you're using.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And so, we always sort of need to be topping up on those salts some way or another. But
mm,
it just makes so much sense that it's all in here.
yes. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing
Yeah,
really well. I mean,
every
to re-emphasize the point, like if you are in a financial troubles or you're not in that abundance yet, and I've been there. Yeah, so when you are, then double down. Then
I knew that was going to happen.
but you know what I'm gonna say? Double down on the age. The age urine is really the foundation of
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
therapies out there, and
yeah,
you'll be really healthy if you maintain good protocols with it on a daily basis.
yeah. So, do you get into diet much, Harry? Like,
I don't talk about too much. It's never been my specialty. As I said, I wasn't even vegan for the longest time.
yeah,
But I do believe in it, and now I've done it, and I got rid of dairy, pasteurized dairy, which was my last
yep,
weakness. And yeah, since I've got rid of that, my vibration has really shifted. And I've
yeah,
always been
yep,
big, mind you, on fasting. I've always known about the power of that. I was on 1 meal a day for the longest time, and that really helped. Even if I was
yep,
eating junk food, which I was on the 1 meal a day, I still found it because fasting
yeah,
so
yeah,
calming,
yeah.
so powerful.
That's
But I,
part of what I've
yes,
discovered as well is like by taking that break, you give the body time to do whatever
see it in
other
work.
work.
Yeah,
That's the way I try and explain it to people is that, as soon as you eat, your body focuses digesting that food. And so any other job that the body was doing is on hold while that food gets digested. And so the longer you can not eat, the longer time you give your body to heal other things. You know what I mean? So yeah.
exactly. I mean, you give me an idea on this call. I'm always learning from people. One thing you can do with the aged urine. I mean, this is weird, and this is just for us weirdos, I guess. You can spray it on your food, can't you? Whatever food you got, like do a bit of spray and like a, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I know I'm not saying about the taste, but do you know what I mean? It's putting a bit of power liquid into that.
Well,
That
if you're worried about like chemicals or pesticides, it's another way of disinfecting it, I guess. You know what I mean?
true.
Like because
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
it's sterile. But yeah, like bicarb soda and a bit of vinegar is a good way to wipe down foods and vegetables too.
Yeah.
But
I was
yeah,
even thinking just for application of the digestion process and application of it's just going to do everything. Like so powerful to do.
that's the whole idea, isn't it? That we salivate when we see something that we like to eat, because it's priming everything and getting everything ready for, like, okay, this is coming. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, so a little bit of yourself going in with it, kind of thing.
Like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, that
yeah.
could be saliva. Yeah, that's a good point on saliva. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A bit of you, a bit of liquid you.
It's nice, sacred fluids. You know what I mean? Like, um, the three rivers, like our blood, our saliva, and our semen, and our urine. Oh, well, four rivers actually. That's right. It's the four rivers. Yeah, and so yeah, there's spinal fluid, which is the semen, and then the blood, saliva, and urine.
I like
Yeah,
all
the
of them.
four.
They're good.
Yeah, they're
Maybe
the
when the mum
four.
does the breast milk, the 5. I don't know. When she's pregnant.
Well, yeah, that's an extra one.
Oh, and if you want to go extra, probably have vaginal fluids too, because they're good.
Yeah, okay. But that would that be similar to, I guess, I don't know, like the cerebral spinal fluid, which is our semen,
I
as
think so. I'm
well?
not an
Would that be
expert,
coming
but I
from the
do
same place, maybe?
believe what they say in the community is that kind of experience the power of it. So when you get it in the vaginal fluids, however you get it in, it's
Right.
very healing for you as well as her when
Oh,
she gets
okay.
it. Yeah, yeah, it's very
Yeah, right.
powerful. It makes sense,
Yeah.
I guess, because it's arousal, sexual, sacred sexuality stuff.
Yeah.
Very powerful. I
Yeah,
think they call
cool.
it Amrita. Is that correct? Am I getting it wrong? Amrita.
I'm not sure, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the squirting thing, which is also powerful, which they say is they've used it as like this fancy porn thing, but actually it's really medicinal when a woman can um, squirt. Very powerful for her. And
Well, I got to say that, yeah, it would be there for a reason. You know what I mean? It doesn't just happen for no reason.
yeah, I mean, I think I remember some guy saying it makes sense. If you look under a microscope on the squirting thing, the fluid, because some people
Yep.
think it's urine, and it's not. It's a little like urine, I feel, but it's not. But if you look under a
Yeah,
microscope, it's
yeah.
like a tears of your tears. So it's like an
Okay.
emotional release.
Similar.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's an emotional release of some sorts. This squirting thing, healing for them.
Yeah.
Mad.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? You know a lot. I know you do. I can tell.
Yeah, I've been on a bit of a journey, so I guess yeah, I haven't dived into drinking fully aged yet. And yeah, I guess so. You reckon wait till it gets dark, or
No,
I don't know.
I mean
Like, I'm
it's
sort
up
of
to the person. To be honest, I don't. I say I'm no dogma. My teachings on aged are because that's how I rolled with it. I don't wait for nothing. I mean, as you can see, I've got a plastic spray bottle. I just go for it. So no,
yeah.
you can even. I think even it's wise even to baby step it. If you've never done age urine drinking, go for. Why wait for the most powerful? Why not just you've got a week's old, a few days old. That's a good. That's an age, isn't it? Take that down
Yep.
the hatch and
Fair enough.
you're not going to get a massive detox reaction because I think you're quite healthy with all that you do. So
Well, yeah. I'm getting there, I reckon. I still have cravings for certain things every now and then, and I cave in and eat something that I know I shouldn't. And
me too.
but I'm working towards, like, frugivore or whatever, and yeah, I guess we're learning now that the Tartarians just drank their own urine, and that's probably all they needed to do because they had no bathrooms.
Oh, it was them lot that had the. Yeah, I heard there was the group that had no bathroom. Yeah, it makes sense, huh? Dry fasting and relooping naturally the urine.
Yeah, relooping it naturally, and yeah, that's nice deep breaths and staring at the sun.
Amazing, and it's amazing to think of that and how far we've fallen in a way. Because as amazing
Oh
as we
man,
are now, we have obviously come a long distance from that stuff. Jesus.
yeah.
And now I'd say the urine channel's being used. It's even for me and you, and I don't think it was the case for our ancestors long ago. It's got a little bit of toxicity in it. Everyone's does. Not to say they shouldn't do urine therapy, get loads of benefits. Everyone's urine has got toxins in it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
mad.
Yeah. So I guess yeah.
Yeah,
Trying to
I
think.
suggest with the age, go for it. Don't have to wait that long for it. But of course, the darker the better. And the dark stuff, you're going to
Yeah.
be mind blown
Oh
because
yeah, I know.
it's going to be blowing your
Look,
mind when you take that.
I haven't cracked this yet, so it's not. It's got a little bit of a smell, but
A little bit of
nothing.
stuff, yeah.
Nothing that would knock you on the floor. That's for sure.
No, well, when it gets to dark, you'll really like the smell of it. It's very special.
There's another one I've got. I thought I got to a point where couldn't be bothered putting a date on it anymore.
Yeah, do you know what? I do like the date idea, but you'll know when it's aged because of the color, isn't it, and the smell.
That one's a bit smelly. That one's quite smelly.
Not smelly. Oh, that's
And
probably
that
because
would only
you
be, I
fasted
guess,
or
if that
something.
one was February, that's probably. Sorry.
Is that because you fasted or was just eating non-cooked foods?
Well, and see, that's another thing, isn't it? And I do notice very much how taste changes when I drink it after certain foods. You know what I mean? So
Yes. Yeah, that's
yeah.
huge. I mean, that's why I think the normal meats people eat. There's no way that doesn't fuck up your urine. You'll
Oh
it tastes horrible. Everyone says it. It's obvious.
yeah.
So it's
And
not
I was
meant for
like,
you.
up until I discovered the way the universe works, I I was pretty much a carnivore, and I just basically learned some stuff through watching some of Santos's videos, and it was just like I had that awakening. And it's like, okay, can I do that more? No. You know what I mean? And I remember some lamb chops in the fridge, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy any more, but I'm going to have these. And I ate them. And that was like 2 days after I'd sort of learnt the truth about how we're all connected and blah, blah, and I just did not enjoy eating them either. You know, it was like, but I'm sort of like, I'm not going to waste them. I'm going to have them. And then, but that was the last meat I ate, and then slowly got rid of. Well, cheese was a big one. That took a little while, and then
Me too. Longer than you.
and then was it but the last thing I held on to was butter. I held on to butter for a long time, but gave that up probably about 6 months ago now. So
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, I found a vegan butters that are okay, and I don't use them that much, but they are cool. I like them.
yeah. Well, and that was another reason for me to just get off bread too, kind of thing. Like, because one of my favorite things to have was sourdough bread with butter and Vegemite, being an Aussie, and then avocado on top of that, and I really enjoyed that. But then I was like starting to read the ingredients on the Vegemite, and it's like, yeah, we shouldn't be.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
He's breaking up a little bit. It's a little bit. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just poor internet on my end, mate. That's.
Is it? Oh, no worries. We're communicating. We're
sketchy.
getting messages across, which is important.
Yeah, that's it. I can't really think of any more question.
Can I offer to you that you heard of the Rife machine that we're using, or I'm using? It's amazing.
What's that, Harry? You broke up for me then.
Okay, so have you heard of the Rife machine that I sort of talk about a little bit?
I've heard you talk about it. Tell me some more.
It's really, really powerful, bro. Through synchronicities is all I can say, because I didn't know about Rife. I just trusted one of my best friends,
right?
Who'd been working himself in a clinic where people were making, let's say, a lot of money on it because it was very powerful, giving people results. And he didn't believe in it. He was into aged urine, thought he'd done all the work. As I guess at points in my life, I thought you only needed aged too, and that would get you to the highest goal. But anyway, long story short, he told me about it, and I bought it. Took a risk because it's not cheap. But I'm glad I did, because as soon as I started using it, I felt like I'd gone back into my body. My personality started shifting, bro. Very strange.
Yeah, right.
You know, a bit like when I've had like no vitamin D, and I have a day when I get loads of vitamin D. I feel like my personality shifts then too. That's the only other thing I can equate it to. But anyway, I started using this Rife. My personality started changing. Getting darker skin just from using it an hour a day. Really weird.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and then
how does it work?
mm,
How does it work? What does it actually do?
I'm learning about it too, but the best way that I've learned to describe to people is it's like ultrasound. So everything has a
Okay.
frequency. Our body has a
Yes.
frequency, and all the diseases that hold in our body, cancer, parasites, they all have a specific frequency. So when you match their frequency with ultrasound deep within the cells where they try and hide these diseases, but I mean deep with this Rife machine. So you match
Yep.
the frequency, and then it just blasts it off like like
Okay.
glass. You know, a glass, an opera
Yep.
singer can shatter glass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. By
So
hitting the right
that's like
frequency. Yeah.
ultrasound. That's matching the frequency of the glass, and it goes boom. Well, I guess the same with
Okay.
parasites. The parasite has a
Yeah.
frequency, and then
Okay.
what happens is the parasite will try and hide. So you hit it with one frequency with this Rive machine, it hides, and then it just does another frequency. And if you stay in for an hour, it shatters. The parasite can't hide because it goes through every single frequency that the Rive has figured out that these parasites hide at.
Ah.
So in that way, it gives you over time and very quickly actually, it gives no chance for the diseases to hide. And
Yeah,
basically,
yeah, yeah,
Rife
yeah.
spent his entire life figuring out all the he spent his entire life figuring out all the frequencies for his machine, and this is a replica of and it's very powerful of all the things he's
Wow.
figured out. So you can target specific diseases, or what I'm coming to for people is solfeggio tones, but not like YouTube's, like proper solfeggio deep within the body. That's something very
Yeah.
powerful. It's a really
Well,
powerful
I think,
machine. Mm.
just learning about how they can control minds and things like that as well. It's just like they are the biggest issue that we have. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
we know
How
the
much? How
ages.
much?
How much is it?
How much
Yeah,
is
so
it?
but that's the one. But that was my sticking point with it too, to be honest, and why I felt like it was taking a risk. So it is. Do you know dollars? It's $2,700 if you work in American
in
dollars.
in in British pounds?
No, 2,000 British
Oh,
pounds. 2,000, I think, British
okay.
pounds.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So by the time I convert that, I'm probably spending 4 or 5 grand Australian.
it's a lot. But then how I look at
Yeah.
it, and truthfully, and I want to get across to people and yourself, is that it's like my own doctor on tap, like same as the age, but I
I
get to use it
I
every day.
totally get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's my insurance, and also it uses next to no electricity, unlike a water distiller, which I like. So once you get it, you plug it in. And probably, bro, these things are going to last longer than the warranties, as long as we don't do anything stupid. You know?
So they're readily available. These machines, obviously.
They are pretty available. It's just no one knows about it because the people that it's underground. Because if it's overground, it's a bit in trouble. Like urine therapy, we can't go overground. But also, the people that are promoting it are old school. So this is
Gotcha.
why I'm taking this opportunity as a young person to it needs sexing up because it's so powerful. The reason why it's not been known about properly is because it's all the old school, the old people that are a bit dogmatic. You know, the ones
Yep.
that say you can only use your Rife if you're vegan. You can only do it if you are this level of health, or do you know what I mean? They're a
Yeah.
bit
Right.
old and boring, and
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it needs sexing up this Rife because it is
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel, the best Rife, bro. I think it's the best one for that price. It's the best one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Cool.
yeah.
I'll have to do some more research and look into it.
Yeah, did I put you in a Rife group quickly? I do have one on Facebook. I'm not sure if I did.
I'm not on Facebook anymore, but yeah.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, that's right. You're not. Okay, I can send you more info through email, definitely, and I'll put that
Yeah.
CD on
Yeah.
my
That'd be
page.
cool. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I don't think I can't afford anything right now, but definitely something to look at in the future when things start
Exactly.
to
No, I'd
change
say for you,
around
stay
in
on the
this world.
age protocols. Stay on what you're doing. It's amazing. The work on
Yeah.
the fasting, the age urine, the grounding, the sunlight. Oh my God, there's so many
Yeah.
amazing free things out there.
Yeah, man. I've got an earthing blanket on my bed that I sleep on. So
Oh, smart. I do the earthing pillow, so that's good. Yeah, good one.
okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I created a footrest on my bed,
Hmm. Mm.
uh, like over that so that I can get the soles of my feet onto it.
Wow, that's cool.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I really feel the difference
Mm.
because obviously we're meant to be walking on the earth in bare feet. So it's the soles and your palms have a connection, you know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's one of the other things I've been learning too, is like how when I sun gaze in the mornings and in the evenings, I try and you hold your palms up to the sun as well,
Yes.
and you can
Good one.
actually really feel, something. Well, I feel the cleaner I get my body, the more I start to feel these things. It's like
Yes.
it's like
And
okay,
that one's
once
it's always whiter and lighter. Funny, isn't it? Because that's the one that rarely gets the sun. Always lighter. That
yeah,
colour.
right.
So,
Yeah, I
and
think
it's so
sometimes
hydrating.
the red hand receives and the left hand gives back or something.
Oh, I heard that. I didn't know the order. Yeah, is that receives and gives? So you say receives, gives? That makes sense. Left is
Where
receives. Left is
yeah.
receives.
So your left goes back to the sun apparently.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm
Oh, I
not
thought
sure.
that'd be opposite to what I thought. So that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've
Yeah, the
heard.
soles of the feet too are good to point to the sun too. The soles of the feet to the sun.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
That
Very
was a good
powerful
one.
knowledge you've got there. And good to practice.
Yeah.
I'm learning these things too. I only learned about them recently, the hand one with the sun.
Yep. No, cool.
Yeah.
It's good to talk to other like-minded people. we
Oh,
learn off each other.
bro, it's
Yeah.
so important. The Zooms,
For a little while,
yeah.
there, when I was where I was living, there'd be a spot in the backyard where I could get the sunset, and I was going out, and I'd pee on the ground, and then stand in my pee. I'll look while staring at the sun, and to me that felt like wow, like I felt like I had a real connection to the earth, and sun rays coming into the eyes. It's like wow, this feels good, yeah.
All right, are you happy to end it? Because I see the time running out. We can start a new Zoom if you want, or it's up to you.
Oh no, look, it's all good, Harry. Yeah, I just yeah. It's nice to know that you feel sometimes you losing hair. That's makes me feel a bit more okay. Cool. It's
know
just
how you
it's a
feel.
process of whatever detox,
Yes,
whatever's happened.
exactly. I know
Yeah,
how you
but
feel.
no, it's just
Yeah.
yeah. I know I've watched a couple of your podcasts, shows and stuff. So it's like, oh, when you said you do sessions, like, oh yeah, you'd be a nice guy to talk to, and yeah, and
I appreciate your
I know
support, brother, and it'd be nice to meet in the future. I'd love to when I'm in
I've
Australia to meet
a
other
lot
people
of
over there.
stuff anyway. So yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, stay in touch for
I
sure.
will,
Yeah,
and I'll send you the email so you can rewatch it.
awesome.
And I'd love to connect with you. I'll let you know if I come to Australia. Nice to meet you.
Definitely, mate. No worries.
All right, brother. Thanks for it.
All right. Take it easy, Harry.
Bye.
See you, mate.
See ya.